Hi, loves. Welcome to a new episode of the AW Confidential Podcast. On today's episode, we're pulling back the curtain on the journey of a creator who refuses to follow anyone's script but his own. David Caro Levi is an actor, artist, and TikTok powerhouse who's unapologetic about who he is in a world that loves to put people in boxes. He's painting his own masterpiece and doing it on his own terms. Today, we're talking culture, creativity, and the courage to own your story. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you? Thank you very much for having me.
Oh my gosh, I love that you're like so multifaceted. I think, we work so hard to put people in boxes, like applications, what's your gender, what's this, what's that? Like you have to like fit a certain mold and you kind of go out there and you do a little bit of everything. And I want to start with the spark. What was the moment you knew you had to carve your own path instead of following, the one that was laid out for you? Because I know as a Latina, my parents are Dominican. They had a whole plan for my life. And I
Yeah,
tried it. It didn't work.
okay. It was not your plan.
It was not my plan.
Well, I started when I was a kid, when I was like 7 years old, I decided that I wanted to be an actor because I loved film and theater and I wanted to be an actor. And I talked to my parents when I was like 9, like, I know what I want to do. And my father and my mother said, okay, but if you want to be that, you need to be the best. So you need to study and you need to take it seriously. And so I started reading books when I was a kid, and then I started to go to acting classes, um, and I became an actor. And
Did you did you have a passion for it? Did you love it? Or
yes,
was it you
yeah,
did?
uh,
Because sometimes we say to ourselves, "Okay, I want to do this," but then you get there and you're like, "This
and you
wasn't
don't
what I
like it.
thought." Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of my classmates in acting school were like that. Like they thought they liked it, but once they went into it, they didn't like it that much. But I do.
Yeah,
It's
you
my
do.
biggest passion. Acting. It's my biggest passion.
You're a creative for sure. And you have now like this platform for some time, right? And now you're like on, not now, but now you're like on TikTok. Like you
Yeah.
have, you have this bigger platform and it's a combination of, live audience and digital. So what changed? Like, why create TikTok content? Because you already were so successful with, your music and the acting. So why TikTok?
I wanted to be in contact with my audience, with my fans, people that follow me, and also I wanted to be. Um, Yes, I want to be in contact with them, and so that they get to know a piece of me, not just my characters, but also
The
my
human,
David, the human.
David, the
Yeah,
human. I
yeah.
love that. I love that. I have to ask, have you ever regretted it? Or are people really nice? I can't imagine anyone not being nice to you. Like you're so pleasant,
Thank you.
but you never know.
If I regret being on TikTok
Yeah,
and
have you ever
yeah,
regretted it? Or you
every day. No,
I love
but
it.
yeah, because I spend a lot of time like watching stuff more than doing,
Oh
like watching
wow.
stuff. So sometimes it's like I need to leave this and read more. But no, I mean I don't regret it, but sometimes
It's
I
exhausting,
feel
right?
it's exhausting and
It's
it's a lot of time.
exhausting. It
You
is.
spend a lot of time.
And and it's funny, right? Because people think, because I create content, and
Yeah,
people think, oh, you just get in front of the camera and you start, doing your thing. And I'm like, no, like I posted something a couple days ago. I wasn't feeling great. I had a little bit of the blues. The world is heavy. I didn't have it. I haven't had it in me for a week to create. And I was like,
yeah.
I just don't want to get in front of a camera. But I went on camera after a week and I was honest. I said, I feel heavy. And it's hard. It's hard to do it when you're, it's not just jump in front of the camera and act, it's not that.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe you're having a bad day or things are not going well for you, and you need to leave that behind and maybe give,
Take a step back, right?
yes, and give a
Yeah.
better face to your audience, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like also the things we watch on TikTok, on Instagram, uh, it always seems like people are having a perfect life, but because they're not showing the bad side of their lives. So
And that's why I wanted to do that video because
yeah,
we live in a world of filters, and behind the TikTok personalities, behind the artists, the creatives, there's a human being. And I think people forget it. Like they see a persona, and when you're authentic, you got to remember, like, there's a human. It's not just, put on a happy face, like a
yeah,
clown, so to speak.
yeah, that's
So
true.
so how do you, because you have, this platform, how do you make sure that the content and or the platform doesn't define you? Because you're human.
Hmm. Well, sometimes I don't know, I post things that I like, but I also sometimes post my opinions or on topics that matter for me. And I think that being real with your audience, it's gonna feel less fake than other, I don't know, other Instagram
100%.
and TikTokers. Yeah.
100%. So where does the real David show up when the phones are off, when everything's off? Who's that? Who is David?
I think I'm more David when I sing. So that's also why I started singing, because and I write my own songs. So
Oh, wow.
that it's like kind of like a therapy for me to write songs and sing them. And if I connect at least with one person when I do that, that's like they get to know me, a piece of my soul.
I love that. Now, your culture plays a big part in your identity, as it does in mine and all of us. How has your background shaped your art, like the what you create? How do you, sort of, how does that influence your art?
A lot. I mean, I know who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of being Mexican. And now that I moved to the US to live here, it's always with me, and I always carry it in my work, and I tell everyone where am I from, and and I and I think that even if you don't, I mean, you always need to feel proud of it because it's gonna uh, in your work it's gonna be better if you show something about yourself and about your background. And I
100%.
see some people that don't like, because now there's a very like a lot of stereotypes for
And
Latins.
I was actually gonna, you got ahead of me. I was gonna ask you about that. Like, where have you had any moments where you've had to push back against stereotypes? Because I know as a Latina, like people think they try to put you in this box again. So
Yeah.
have you had to push back a little bit on anything?
Not yet, but I feel it, so I know that it's gonna come, and when that comes, I think I'm gonna be mad if someone, I don't know, it's racist with me or whatever, but I'm always gonna show up my Mexican side and my uh, and be proud of who I am and support others if I can.
I love that. You have to. You have to. Do you have, as the world looks different right now. Everything is different. Do you feel that you have certain expectations that weigh on you as opposed to maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
Um, yeah, I mean, somehow I feel the world like it's going backwards in a
I
lot of senses.
know.
So it's crazy for me. I thought we were in a different modern time, and now, so
Yeah.
I would like to. I don't know, retake that kind of values that we had 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and now I think we lost them. And I also
Yeah.
think we lost a lot of that because of social media, because you get like controlled over there, and now with AI you don't even know what's true and what's not. So
Which is really scary.
yeah, so my expectations as a human being are respect everyone and that everyone lives a better and more peaceful life. I don't like war. Uh, and my expectations as an artist is to um, do great characters in great movies and TV shows here in the U.S. and also in Latin America and in Europe. I mean, I don't care the country, but do great projects.
Globally.
Yeah,
What I don't know. I feel like the more things change, the more I change, and I feel when I say change, I mean now more than ever, I want to be a global citizen. I feel like we're almost like closing in, as we close the borders and we do all these things. It's like we're in this vacuum, and I want to see the world. I want to meet different people, different cultures. I want to put myself in spaces where I could connect with the rest of the world. And it gets harder and harder. It really does. So I think
yeah,
staying true to yourself, what you believe in, staying true to who you are is it's a great step forward. So we'll have to see what happens. But as
yeah,
an as an artist and an actor in a space that can sometimes feel loud and crowded, as you know, because everyone's watching, how do you stay connected to your purpose when comparison or doubt, because I think we all have insecurities, creep in? How do you stay connected to your purpose and yourself? Because it could be hard. Like for me, I meditate, I journal, I spend
yeah.
time with friends. What do you do?
Well, I spend time with my family, and I also spend time with friends. And I every day when I wake up, I write what I want to do that day and my goals in that month, and if I achieve them yet or no, and what do I need to do to achieve them. So that's and also not I don't focus on other people, just in myself. I don't
I
know
love
if
that.
someone that it's another actor that I know and he won an Oscar. I don't focus on that. I focus on myself because he has his path and I have my path. So I think that if you focus on yourself, you're gonna be better at your craft, and also you're gonna achieve bigger things than focusing on other people that are not you.
I love that. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. So, your content is bold, it's authentic. We love bold, we love authentic. Our podcast is about
Thank you.
truth. So, what is one truth about your journey that people may not see on their feed, but has shaped who you are today?
Uh, well, I think I've done a lot of castings, and there's some projects that I was close to achieve or to make, and I didn't, and because of that, I sometimes I'm very sad about it. But then I need to work a lot to continue in my path, and I've also done a lot of sacrifices, family, relationships, friends, fun because of my work. But I think, I mean, until now, I feel proud of it, and I like that to do that sacrifice. I don't like the word sacrifices, but it
No,
is
it's
what it
not. Maybe
is.
compromise.
Yes,
Yeah.
compromise. Yeah,
I don't like that word either, actually. I used to
yeah.
use it and I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's
I'm not
negative. I don't
sacrificing.
like it. Yeah, I don't like that one. David, thank you so much. You are so awesome. Can you please
Thank you so much.
share with
You
our
too.
community how they can find out more about you?
Yeah. Well, my Instagram is David Caro Levy, David Caro Levy, and TikTok David Caro Levy one. And you can also follow me on Spotify and Apple Music as David Caro Levy and listen to
Oh,
music.
yeah. Yeah, we have to do that. His music is really good. I was listening to some songs. They put me in my feelings though. I was like, oh my God. They're romántico. Um
Yes.
But we need that. We need that. So at AW Confidential, we believe that your story is your superpower. David's journey reminds us that true freedom comes when you stop asking for permission or stop waiting for permission and start creating your own definition of success. And thank you, David, for sharing your story with us and inspiring us today.
Thank you so much. And
And thank
remember to be brave always.
Sometimes it's hard, but what do they
Yeah,
say? They say be afraid, but do it anyway, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And thank you, Los, for joining us on this episode of AW Confidential Podcast. Talk to you soon.